Hello, this is Bill Nation, and this is my midterm for the industrial organizational psychology class. First question um, deals with the impacts of different events that have had on the industrial organizational field in the past few years. First item I want to talk about is security. The effects of 9/11 had an impact on businesses because some of our twin towers, some other buildings were hit by terrorists using aircraft as weapons, and this shook the foundations of our country. And businesses have had to take different measures to protect themselves and their employees to ensure employees feel safe. Another item that has affected businesses is diversity. Many companies hire foreigners, people from different countries on visas or recent immigrants to the United States to come and work for them, especially in engineering in the field of IT. As a result, they have to develop policies respecting these individuals' diversity and training their employees in it and enacting programs to ensure that these people are not discriminated against. You also have more women in the workplace. And as a result, sexual harassment policies have had to be enacted and people have had to be retrained in them. Probably one of the greatest impacts on our companies is social media. You have a lot of companies that use sites like LinkedIn to advertise their jobs. They'll use Facebook and Twitter. Also, a lot of employees, almost everybody has a Facebook account. And before a person is hired, the HR staff will look at their Facebook account just to make sure that these people are not posting anything that would be embarrassing to the company. And many companies have enacted social media policies um, to ensure that the any company information, especially proprietary information, is not given out to other people, and that their employees are not doing posting anything to embarrass the employer. The sources for this question came from the textbook and also from an article in Forbes magazine from 2017 talking about social media policies. Second question came from chapter 3 concerning what can supervisors do to enhance the uh, social um, especially for college students and graduate students, different universities, not companies. Liberty University has a very good policy to help graduate students acclimate to the online process. Normal universities, students would go to orientation, they would be exposed to different clubs and fraternities and sororities and different ways for, them to get acclimated and become friends with other people, to get socialized. Um, it's different with online students. The first online classes appeared and they started in the late 90s. Phoenix University was one of the first colleges to offer a complete online degree program. If you go through the Liberty website, there are different links for online graduates to use. First of all, there is an online graduate orientation class that will help students get acclimated on how to do their work, how to use the resources, the website. There are different tutoring links that students can use to get tutoring information. There's a writing center. There's a career center, and the career center will help online students plus traditional students work on their resumes, practice interview skills. The college will help individuals find jobs. Recent graduates will set up job interviews, some in person, some online. They also have ways for graduates and students to network with other people. They also have internships, so you can get the experience that you need to be successful in your career. There's also a place where we can actually join online clubs and organizations, just like regular college students. And they're academic based, for like kids and they're studying psychology, they have a psychology group. They also have special interests. They have sports. They bend over backwards to help online students feel like they are in a traditional college setting. And all this can be found on the Liberty University website. I was very impressed with it. I'm retired military. They also have a group for retired military members. Very, very impressed with it. The third question comes from chapter 4, and this is one: what can supervisors do to help their employees settle conflicts, especially the work family conflicts? A lot of us are married. A lot of people who work are married. And, there comes a time when you're going to have kids and you're going to have something that the family wants you to do and you have your work interests. What are you supposed to do? Supervisors can help their employees solve this problem. First of all, the employees need to be aware of all the different sick time, vacation policies that they have, other types of personal time off. Supervisors need to ensure that these people know when they can use it and how to use it. Uh, Another thing that supervisors can teach their employees is time management. This is very important. Teach your employees, how to organize their task, what resources that they need to get the task done, which ones to tackle first and which ones can wait. When you go to work, if you actually, instead of looking on the internet at sports or Facebook or other social media or talking to your friends, go to work and do your job, you can get a lot of things done. There are three other things that companies have enacted. These came from the textbook. First of all, and also from another HR book, you have flex time. Flex time is when employees can come into work early and leave early to meet the needs of their family and their work schedule at the same time. There are core hours that you have to work. Companies normally set them like from 8 to 2, 9 to 3. Some people may choose to come in later. Come in at 9, maybe stay to 6, depending on what your family needs or other needs are. Another thing is telecommuting. When you telecommute, you work from home. Same thing, you have certain hours that you have to work, but it gives you a degree of flexibility. Another item is job sharing. And this is an article by Brinkley that I read from 2011, and it's from a Society for Human Resource Management article. And it says what job sharing is when you have two different people who work part time to fill a full time position. And this gives retirees, maybe a working mom, gives them a chance to work to make some money, but they're not committed full time. And one of the best benefits is this: is companies are not responsible to pay them full-time benefits. Like I say, these are just a few things that supervisors can use. What employees need to understand is they work for a company and the company expects them to be at work and to be productive. In most companies, most supervisors will bend over backwards to help them reduce the conflict, so they won't leave. The next question comes from chapter 5. This question concerns: what can you do to make an effective appraisal system? There was Murphy gave a list of different types of performance appraisal systems that you can use. I like the one that deals with job task. And the way the job task system works is that employees have certain tasks that they are responsible to do. And when I'm developing measures of performance, First of all, they need to be measurable, they need to be realistic, they need to be objective, they need to be valid, and they need to be reliable. And then also use a 5 point Likert scale, with number one being unsatisfactory, number five being outstanding or excellent. And the way this will work is, you give your employees, you put down, if I was a manufacturer making widgets, number three would be satisfactory. You produce between 3 and 5 widgets per hour. Outstanding would be 15 per hour. 15 to 20. Employees need to know what's expected of them, what they're responsible for producing, and what will get them promoted. And supervisors need to, ensure that they understand their performance rating, how they will be rated, and need to be given feedback periodically throughout the year so they understand how they are doing. Nothing can be more detrimental to think that you're doing good and find out that you're not doing good. Um, Also, ratings need to be bias free. And the last item that we're talking about is what are some of the constraints, things that organizational constraints that decrease effectiveness. And some of the things, first of all, is the good old boy system. I have worked for the military for the past 30 something years, with 26 years of active duty, contractor, and civil service. And what the good old boy system is where the bosses have their favorite group of people, who are usually in less rank than them or lower down the management scale. And these people get all the promotions, they get all the good business trips, they get to go to all the good parties because they're in that little clique. And it's who they know. They get their jobs because of who they know instead of their qualification. The effects of this in a company, it decreases morale, it creates resentment, it creates conflict and stress. And some employees who are doing a good job will get frustrated and they will just give up because they hit that brick wall and they see that they are never going to get promoted and will probably leave the company or the organization. The another thing is bosses who are mean, who are overbearing, who degrade their employees in front of other people. Maybe because they don't like them, maybe because they don't feel like they're doing a good job. I've had this happen to me. Had a supervisor used to regularly chew me out, berate me in front of other people. A lot of times it may not even been for stuff I didn't even do. Never got an apology. This causes stress. It'll cause people eventually to lose the job because they don't feel like they have anybody that they can complain to about it. People may increase their substance abuse rates. It just can be very detrimental. Um, Another thing that really can cause a lot of problem is social undermining. And this is when employee A, goes around and spreads rumor about employee B because employee B is a better performer than employee A, and employee A does not want to see employee B succeed because they're jealous. And they will do anything that they can to sabotage this person from getting a promotion or raise, maybe a good business trip or something. This causes a lot of problem. It can cause people to leave the company. Work will be degraded. Another thing will be is sexual harassment. Sexual harassment, it causes people to feel uncomfortable, and this is when a supervisor will ask an employee for a sexual favor, just to get a promotion, to get a good performance rating, to get a good business trip. And the worst thing about this is it can get people fired. It can result in lawsuits. And this information also came out of the textbook. Thank you very much, and God bless.